Today I'm going to show you how to make a bowl blank for a wood lathe. So for the sake of the video, what I've done is I've kind of marked out, this is the pith right there, and the log's still pretty wet, so it's not marking too well, even though it's supposed to mark on wet. It will mark on wet surfaces, but if they're too wet, yeah, good luck. So there's the pith, and there's a couple of cracks. So we want to keep those out of the blank if at all possible. I keep the cracks fairly vertical. And then I kind of do the same thing on the back side. And I do like to mark them, even when, I'm not doing this for a video, unless they're very obvious, because sometimes you'll miss them. So you stand the log on end, mark it, and then lay it down. I have it setting inside of some 8x8s that are through bolted together, low down, and that's just so I don't have to worry about it rolling, and it's close to the ground, so if I have a large log, I don't have to fight it up on top of something. So if the cracks on the back don't align perfectly, I will keep that in mind. It may split the difference. In this case, the distance from the pith to here, so from like here to here and here to here is fairly centered. I like how I have it positioned. So I'm going to cut right there. So what I'm going to do to make life easier, and this is completely optional and I often don't use it, but if you're just starting out, you probably don't have a big lathe, this process that I'm about to show you is going to make life easier. So using a level, and actually I should go ahead and put a mark right there just so I don't lose track of where I am. And then I draw a line. I am going to cut on that line. Okay? And then I'm going to go do the same thing off the back. You obviously won't see that, but it's the exact same thing. And in reality, you only need a mark toward the top. Life might be made a little easier if you put it on both sides. Now what I have are a bunch of strips of masonite. These were cut from some scraps that I had. I have these strips in 1/2-inch increments. I'm using the 5-inch strip here so I can draw parallel lines on both front and back. So by putting this on both sides, front and back, your two cuts will be parallel. It'll give you the best balanced blank. You can totally eyeball it. I do it all the time, especially on smaller blanks. But if you're just starting out, this will make life easier. I'm going to start off by making a cut at the marks in the back. So I start the cut and I rock the blade into the wood. If the log is heavy enough and the bar is long enough, make the cut with a gap between the stop claws and the wood so you can more easily follow the line. This is actually a second log. I forgot to hit record on one of my cuts. So I didn't finish the cut because it's easier if it's all held together. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. the left side of this log doesn't look like it's going to produce a very large bull blank, so I'm just cutting it up for a few other purposes. So now we have a pretty darn parallel piece of wood to get our bull blank out of. I just have some cardboard discs that I cut out. You can also use a compass. Just take a marker, draw it around the perimeter. I'm using a Timberwolf 1/2 inch 3 TPI alternate set blade that is ideal for green wood. Here's a chart from pswood.com that you can use as a guide to help you choose a blade. I'm using a 5 horsepower jet bandsaw. You don't need that much power, but it sure is nice. A 1 horsepower saw can do the job, but it's easy to bog the saw down. Making a straight cut with your chainsaw becomes very important, otherwise you will bind the blade and stall the saw. Up until last year, I used a 2 horsepower saw and it worked just fine. 5 horsepower is luxury for sure. Making a straight cut with a chainsaw not only helps with the blank being balanced on the lathe, but it makes it easier to cut the slab round on the bandsaw. This blank is not perfectly flat, but it is pretty good. I want to point out that it is highly recommended that you don't make unsupported cuts. This slab could produce a larger blank, but the wood should still be cut with the wider part of the slab down. Simply tack a cardboard disc to the wood and follow the disc to make the cut. It's important to follow the line closely with a smaller lathe, as a balanced blank will make turning easier. I could have done a better job cutting a little straighter, but I feel like you get the idea. One thing you should keep in mind, if your teeth are not evenly sharpened, the blade will not want to cut as straight. So, helpful tip there. And hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. I hope to catch you in the next one.